Alright, boot this up. Yeah, whatever. Star Guy has landed. Prime Gaming shit. Oh, look at that yellow faceplate. Nothing I care about. Alright, so we are just going to jump right into it today. I guess we'll do Bravery, whatever this show is. Sweet Thieves. Sure. Win as a thief in Bravery, Guardian in Bravery. I have no idea what this whatever is. Thief. I have no idea what this show is. Yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. So today is Mother's Day. So as a result, I've been busy. I was busy yesterday. I'm busy today. But I can set aside, I don't know, what, like an hour-ish for a stream. So that's what we're doing today. I decided, I was like, we could do Wii Sports. You know, Wii Sports is always an option. It's easy. It's simple. But, I don't know. I decided against it. And instead, we're just going to do some Fall Guys. Again, short and sweet today. Not trying to go too complicated, all things considered. Oh no, I've been busy all day. Busy, I did some cleaning. A lot of cleaning, actually. Okay. Thieves steal candy and avoid capture within the time limit. Defend the candy and capture all the thieves. Okay, I'll be honest. I have no idea how this works. Defend your candy. Oh, is this like that Mario Kart map? So there's a Mario Kart map that's kind of like Cops and Robbers. Is it like that? Oh, come on. That's kind of what this reminds me of. Sugar Snappies. Okay, I'm just trying to figure this one out real quick. Okay, I see some guys over there. This one's weird. So yeah, I've seen this like this game mode advertised before, but I've never actually played it. This is because yeah, this was the mid-season update. I wonder what makes them go invisible. Yeah, it's because they're collecting candies. Which, okay, that makes sense for like a game mode. We can't even pick up the candies. They're about to win it right there. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one. We'll mess around with it, I'm sure. We still got plenty of time. Was there? I was not even paying attention if there was a time limit. Oh, so we are max level. Oh, and we got a crown. Okay. Oh, and we're one away. Okay. Yeah, so, if you remember, like, 2 weeks ago, there was double XP weekend. During that double XP weekend, I was able to get max level and get a crown. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So, yeah, that happened, like, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So, yeah, this Guardians thing is weird, but whatever. We'll play it. The game seemed pretty simple and straightforward. Maybe we'll do some regular later, but we'll try out the new mode. So, let's just jump right into the news. So, the Embracer Group, which I think the Embracer Group is a company that have been buying up game studios recently. Their CEO has a really cool name. I don't remember what it is. Or something like that. It's, I don't know, but I think they did SpongeBob Rehydrated. I think they did both Destroy All Humans 1 and 2 remake, even though the second remake isn't out yet. But they're one of those studios. They've been buying up. I think they bought up THQ Nordic a while ago. But yeah, so the Embracer Group has been buying up studios. And they didn't buy Squeenix. It should be said, they did not buy Squeenix. They did, however, make a bid to acquire part of Square Enix. Specifically, Square Enix Montreal, Eidos Montreal, and Crystal Dynamics. So Crystal Dynamics recently did that Avengers game. So that's where that comes from. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. So yeah, they're a pretty competent studio, all things considered, you know. They've been doing a lot of... It's a few competent studios who have been making good games and doing good stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, I got captured, but whatever. But yeah, so the Embracer Group, just in this giant acquisition, for only $300 million, have gotten these 4 studios. I might be forgetting some, but I know it's, for sure, it's these 4. And they've also acquired a bunch of IP from Squeenix. So they have Tomb Raider, which is huge, especially because recently it was announced that we are getting a new Tomb Raider game in Unreal Engine 5. So I find that part interesting. Am I the only one who's gotten candy? Let's see. They got Tomb Raider. They got... Deus Ex, which immediately after this happened, there were conversations about, are we going to get a new Deus Ex? And at the time... Oh, crap. So yeah, there was a lot of conversation on, like, were we going to get a new Deus Ex when this deal was announced? And the answer seemed like it was yes initially. But since then, things have changed. And it looks like the answer is no. So it looks like no, we aren't getting a new Tomb Raider. Oh wow, that's really straightforward. So, we know we're getting a new Tomb Raider. I meant we aren't getting a new Deus Ex. So it looked like, well, yeah, it was originally going to be that way. Turns out that's not how this is working. We are not getting a new Deus Ex. Which I know is a disappointment to some people. Especially because, you know, a new Deus Ex would be cool. I don't know. I don't remember the last one being any good. They also got Thief, which Thief was a beloved stealth game from the 90s. I think 90s and early 2000s. That was, you know, really beloved. It was an early on stealth game that people liked. And then they tried to reboot it in like 2014, and the reboot was really bad. But the original game, especially the second one specifically was really good. So a remake of the second Thief game would actually be really cool. And I think they also got Avengers, you know, Marvel's Avengers, the game that everybody hates. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they got Marvel's Avengers. So that's now a property of the Embracer Group. I mean, I'm sure there's some like other complicated deal going around that, you know, makes things all the more complicated. But for the moment, yeah, it looks like the Embracer Group has the Avengers. So that's interesting, and that has a lot of potential to lead many places. Where will that actually lead to? Who knows? But it's got potential to go any number of places. But yeah, and then on top of all those properties, so I just mentioned 4 properties. There's like another, I want to say like 50 that they got. I don't know all the details, sadly. Like, honestly, I know that they did get other stuff, but I couldn't tell you what that other stuff is. I just know they got it. So yeah, it looks like the Embracer Group, for $300 million, got a lot of stuff out of this. I mean, it's not like they have Square Enix. So, like, they don't have Final Fantasy. They don't have Life is Strange. They didn't get, Just Cause. Which, honestly, it surprises me that they'd be willing to give up Tomb Raider before they give up Just Cause. Just speaking out loud here. Because Just Cause, I mean, the last game was whatever. But I like Just Cause, but I think Tomb Raider is the more critically acclaimed franchise. Last I checked. So that actually surprises me that, yeah, out of all of these franchises, they got Tomb Raider and not Just Cause. Which, again, Just Cause, good game. Just Tomb Raider is more critically acclaimed, and with one recently being revealed, it's just surprising. But so I wonder how Thieves... So it says Thieves win. Is that the player who stole the most? I actually don't know. And I have no idea what Thieves get for winning. I haven't actually checked. I should actually look into that. Just out of curiosity's sake. They get 10 points. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, so the reason they say they did this, and this might literally have immediately blown up in their faces, is the reason Squeenix claims they did this is because they're selling these franchises to make room for other properties in the metaverse. Properties related to the blockchain and NFTs and stuff like that. So yeah, the whole reason Squeenix is claiming to have done this is because they want to put focus on the blockchain, on the metaverse. They also mentioned cloud gaming in there, which I think is interesting. But yeah, that's their reasoning behind this. is to give money, is to put more money into NFTs. Which, to be fair, we knew that Squeenix was doing this. In a previous thing, Squeenix had mentioned that they were putting more money into NFTs. So that does make sense from a logical standpoint. Why they're doing this, but this is instantly short-sighted because like the day this deal happened, it came out that like the blockchain NFTs specifically are imploding, right? That like nobody cares about NFTs anymore, and as a result they're not selling as well, and right, it's not going as well. So yeah, it looks like this might have immediately blown up in their faces. So yeah, that's what happened there. That's what's happened with this blockchain stuff. And I think it's kind of funny. Honestly, because now there are people who have been speculating that the reason Squeenix actually did this was to, you know, eventually get themselves bought out, specifically by PlayStation. Because it's very clear that, like, Ubisoft is making moves right now with the intention of being bought out, presumably by, like, Microsoft or somebody. Right? That's clearly something Ubisoft is doing at the moment. Because, you know, Activision destroyed its reputation. Fuck Activision Blizzard. So they thought their best move was to sell themselves off to Microsoft. And we know Ubisoft is thinking the same thing, and they've been making moves in the past like 3 months in order to sell themselves. So that asks the question, is Squeenix doing the same thing here? Is by getting rid of these properties and selling this stuff to the Embracer Group, are they making a bigger move to get themselves sold off to specifically Sony? The speculation right now is specifically Sony. And that makes sense. Where did they go? Yeah, Square Enix specifically selling it off to Sony is a logic, right? Like, I see where it comes from. I don't love the idea, obviously. But it makes sense in a weird sort of way. So we'll see. We'll see if that's their grand plan, is to get themselves sold off to one Sony. Or are they just investing in NFTs, which the gaming industry is super dedicated to making a thing for some reason, even though it's totally a bad idea. So who knows where this is going in the long run? It's just, I think Embracer Group definitely got a steal out of this. Like, Embracer Group definitely got the good end of the stick here. And we'll see how all these other companies deal, you know? Right, we'll see what grander things this contributes to at the end of the day. But it is made very clear that, yeah, the Square Enix says they're doing it for the blockchain, and I think that is extremely short-sighted. Because nobody actually gives a shit about the blockchain unless you're already invested in the blockchain. You know? And, oh, God damn it, they opened the gate. Right? Unless you're already in the blockchain, you don't care about the blockchain. But of course, all these millionaires and billionaires saw this pyramid scheme, so they got invested in it, and now they're trying to get somebody else to get in there before they do a rug pull. Oh, come on, that's stupid. So we'll see how this all turns out. But it is interesting. It is rather interesting. But yeah, that's what's going on at the moment with Squeenix. I don't know, if we, honestly, a Thief revival, or, you know, some sort of remake, Deus Ex getting brought back would be really cool. God damn it! 2 seconds away and they got them all back. Yeah, whatever. I'm just not good at this one. But yeah, so that's, of course, the meta. Fuck Facebook's metaverse, man. I know, and more people are investing in it. It's not a solution. The metaverse is not a solution. Don't let these billionaires who made their billions destroying the planet convince you that the metaverse is the solution. It never was, and it never will be. Next up, let's talk about Ubisoft, the company that mentally and physically abuses its employees. So, Prince of Persia... it was a game that, now the original Prince of Persia that came out in the early 2000s, I want to say like 2001, maybe 2002. I think it was 2002. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time is a really good, really beloved game, right? There were 3 Prince of Persia games on like the PS2, GameCube, Xbox era. And it's generally considered that between those like 3 games is the perfect game. Specifically the first one. Like the first one is like, yeah, no, this game is amazing. So yeah, somewheres between all the Prince of Persia games, there's a really good game in there somewheres. And that like begs the question of, well, okay, so how do we get there? And one of the problems is like, oh, if we can fix problems with the original Prince of Persia, then, you know, maybe we can actually do things. Maybe we can make the moves, right? How are they so much fast? Normally, I can't keep up with these beings who are running away. Oh my god, they were so fast. What the hell? Like, it makes sense that the ones running are faster. Or the ones guarding are... Whatever. I don't... Honestly, I was like, part of me just doesn't get this game. Honestly. Whatever. Or this game mode. Whatever. It's different, and I do like that. No wonder we never see it in the normal rotation, though. But yeah, so Prince of Persia seems to kind of be in a little bit of development hell right now. Because, right, a remake, potentially, right, if the original game is the closest to, like, perfection, then just going in and fixing those problems with the original game, specifically making the combat better, you could potentially make the first Prince of Persia game a perfect game. You just got to go in and fix those problems. I don't know. This is just what I've heard about Prince of Persia. Even though I own the first one, I'd never actually played it because I picked it up in like 2015 or something. I picked it up years later. So I've never actually played it. I've always meant to. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. But so the remake was like one of those things where it's like, oh, this could be really good. But right now, the remake just seems to be in development hell. It was supposed to come out last year, maybe even the year before that. It was supposed to come out a while ago. And then it got delayed. And since then, it's been in even more development hell. And it's been delayed again and again. And it's like, and originally the problems were like, oh, it's the graphics. Right, that was what they originally claimed the problem to be. Is that, oh, there were problems with the graphics. And that's why it had to be delayed. Okay, you know, the graphics didn't look great. But, you know, I'm sure a delay could fix it. But there must be some other underlying problem here. There's no way graphics were the only problem. And so the game kept getting... So the game's been delayed until this year. And then I think at some point it got indefinitely delayed. At some point that happened. I can't tell you when that happened. I just know it did. And now it has Shift Development Studios. So originally it was being done by development studio like A or something like that. Now it's being done by development studio B. And it's the development studio that's doing it is the one that worked on the original Prince of Persia game. So the same studio that did the original is now working on the new one. Oh, come on. Again, I feel like I should be faster than them. But no, they're consistently faster than me. And maybe that was just because I was holding the egg or whatever. I just don't get this game mode. Oh, come on. Oh. Ah, shit. And you can't, and like if they're climbing a ledge, you can't touch them. That seems to be another really annoying problem. And now they're gonna jump on the button. I had them. And it doesn't matter because the gate's open already. We won anyways. Okay, yeah, I don't know if I like this. Even though we won, it does remind me of that Mario Kart mode, though. But, so, okay, so we know... So, Prince of Persia has moved development studios. The other thing that came out about this, though, is I guess they're making a new Prince of Persia game. I don't know if this had been previously announced somewheres, or... Right, where this came from. I'm not entirely sure. Or if this was just buried in everything else. But from what it looks like, anyways... They're making a new 2D Prince of Persia game, so it'll be a 2D platformer, but it's going to be a Metroidvania. Or specifically, it's inspired by Ori and the Blind Forest. So yeah, they're making a new Persia game inspired by Ori and the Blind Forest. And yeah, that came out in all of this. We might have already known that, and I just completely forgot about it. But I was reminded of it here, and again, that sounds really good, actually. The idea of a new Prince of Persia game that's inspired, like a 2D one, that, you know, uses the rewind mechanic and whatnot. That actually sounds really good. Of course, I will not buy, even when assuming this Prince of Persia remake comes out and it's really good, unless Ubisoft completely changes their business practices and gets the Guamos out, which, to be fair, that might happen if they sell Ubisoft to, like, Microsoft. Or Ubisoft unionizes, I refuse to buy any of their games. Right? Fuck Ubisoft. Yeah, I refuse to buy any of their games. But Prince of Persia is good. Again, it pisses me off that Ubisoft is such a corrupt and shitty company. Because they have some really good games and some really good IPs under their belt. Yeah. So next up, we got to talk about more Nintendo things. So there was a Kotaku article a few weeks ago talking about, you know, labor problems at Nintendo. And as part of all this labor problems and whatnot, it came out that, yeah, so as part of all these labor problems related to Nintendo, so there was originally a story that came out from Kotaku about it. And well, since then, even more stories have come out. Specifically, I think this next one was from IGN. And yeah, they put out another story, and a lot of the same things. There's a quote in this about how Nintendo contractors, so not full-time employees. Oh my god, I just appeared randomly. I was completely I guess when you bump into someone. But yeah, Nintendo contractors are basically treated like second-class citizens at Nintendo. That there's no path towards full employment for them, that they are forced to work overtime and whatnot for the company, that they don't have the best working conditions. So yeah, it looks like Nintendo does not treat their contractors, their part-time employees, all that well. And that does suck. Because, you know, I want Nintendo to do good, right? I want them to be a good studio. But yeah, it looks like the ball has finally dropped for Nintendo, and the truth is finally coming out, which I stand by is a good thing. Right? There was supposedly the person who was fired from Nintendo for union practices. I want Nintendo to unionize. I want everything that's going on with these contractors and them being treated like second-class citizens that aren't given time to be properly trained by full-time employees. I want all these problems to be fixed. So yes, and like I've said with Ubisoft, like, yeah, you know, I stopped buying Ubisoft games, but if Ubisoft, you know, fixed their problems, or unionized, I would gladly start buying their games again. If Nintendo unionized, Nintendo of America, and, you know, God, and hopefully nothing bad comes out of Japan. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna, I don't, like, again, everyone draws the lines at different points. As from what I've seen, yeah, this sucks. It sucks that Nintendo, contractors are being, like, put in these terrible positions. It's still not as bad as what I've seen from Ubisoft, or Activision Blizzard, or Quantic Dream. So yeah, everyone draws their line in different places. Sony is right now accused of very similar things. They're not exactly the same, like it's not one for one, but Sony is also accused of very similar practices, again, with like sort of abusing their employees and whatnot. So it all depends on just where you draw the line in the sand. Where I've drawn, I'm still a Nintendo fan, you know, I'm still buying their games. But who knows, things may change. You know, things may change. But yeah, everyone draws their own line in the sand at different place, and there's no wrong. The only wrong answer is just to fully, blindly support Nintendo, no questions asked. You know, in my opinion, that's like the one wrong answer here, is to just not give a shit. But so far, I haven't seen anyone that's like, I admittedly haven't seen too many takes off of this, but I haven't seen anyone's like take of like, oh, just fully support Nintendo. Right? Oh, Nintendo make the game we like, so let's fully support them. I'm sure that take exists, but I haven't seen it yet. But no, I want these problems to be fixed in Nintendo. And yes, I will keep reminding people, because yeah, no. But yeah, another article came out. Nintendo still has these problems. Nothing seemingly changed that much. Oh, crap. Let's see, what else? So next up, oh, you know, the one thing real quick about Nintendo that I forgot to mention is that, Reggie Fils-Aimé put out a book recently, and he's been giving a lot of interviews about his books, and in his book interviews, he said that, like, oh, the Nintendo that I worked at would never do stuff like this. Is that him covering his ass? Is that the truth? it's actually rather complicated at the end of the day. I actually don't believe Reggie. Yeah, I actually don't believe Reggie. I totally think this is the Nintendo he worked under. That, yeah, he's not saying anything, but yeah, no, this is just, it's the same Nintendo. I know he's promoting a book, but he hasn't been gone too long. There's no way these practices have started in the past, like, 3 years since he left or whatever. It hasn't been that long. I think he left in, what, 2020? Maybe 2019? This has to have been going on for as long as he's been there. I don't believe him that, no, this is brand new. But yeah, so the next thing is Summer Games Fest. So last week, or 2 weeks ago now, Microsoft announced their showcase. That, the Microsoft Showcase is going to be, the 13th? But yeah, so, Summer Games Fest, they announced their showcase. Or, their showcase is the 13th. Summer Games Fest, so Jeff Keighley's thing that he did last year, you know, where we got the Elden Ring trailer and whatnot. Well, his showcase has been announced for June 9th. So just, what, like 4 days before? Let me see here. So Jeff Keighley's showcase would be on a Tuesday, and Microsoft's is on... Or no, Jeff Keighley's, yeah, is on a Thursday, and Microsoft's is on the following Monday. So that's what they're saying at the moment. Okay. Again, now what do we expect from Summer Games Fest Showcase this year? Honestly, I have no idea. I've got no idea what to expect, honestly. It could literally be anything. But we know the Summer Games Fest Showcase is happening sooner or later. Okay, so that one, he's keeping that one protected. But yeah, I have no idea what we could see at Summer Games Fest. Honestly, anything is possible at the moment. Because, you know, it's Summer Games Fest. This is Jeff Keighley's showcase. He can show whatever he wants, however he wants it. So, yeah, I mean, of course, he's got his connections, or is, Hideo Kojima gonna show off his next project is which I don't even know how long that's been in development for, honestly. Any number of things could happen. Okay, everyone's out from there. But yeah, so we're that's one idea. I'm sure there's plenty of other stuff that could be at this potential Summer Games Fest. Because like right now we know of Microsoft / Bethesda, and now we know Summer Games Fest. It's just, who is Ubisoft going to do a conference? Is Nintendo going to do a showcase around then? Like, I want that to happen. I want them to do their events during this time. The question is, will that actually happen? And I don't know. I honestly, anything is possible at the moment. It'd be cool, but because I like this idea of Summer Games Fest, but we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. Okay, give me a second. Oh, I still have that up from last week. Alright, I'll be right back. I gotta take care of something real quick. Give me, I don't know, like 5 minutes. Alright, I guess let's continue in this game mode. So what have I been doing? So I was gonna play Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. Cause, you know, I've been trying to wipe out a bunch of games from my, like, Game Pass list, and that's on there, but that didn't happen. Tunic, I'm still kind of hesitant on, even though I shouldn't be. I don't know why. So that didn't happen, but I did play Wii Sports. I played, Wii Sports, or Nintendo Switch Sports, I mean. Yeah, I played that. And, I finally played the other game modes. The, what are they called? I just played the other game modes. And, right now, I like the other game modes. I especially like badminton. That's one that surprised me. Is badminton, and how surprisingly good that was. So yeah, badminton was rather impressive, I will say. So I liked that. I finally won a game of tennis online, but that didn't go so well. Right? It took a while, is what I'll say. Look at how just fast they are. Oh, there's only 4 of them. Okay, protect the gates. You moron! But yeah, so I like badminton. Tennis went okay. Soccer's fine. Like, soccer had been built up to me as really good. I think it's fine. What else? What else is there? Volleyball is okay. I don't love volleyball, but I don't hate it either. I can't even touch those. Okay, I'll protect the gates. But yeah, so I liked... There they are. I don't get how they're so fucking fast. What the fuck? There we go. Wait! Wait! Oh, wait! What? That counts? What? What? For those who don't know, Infallible is the achievement to win 5 games in a row. What? I'm not crazy, right? Win 5 episodes in a row. Holy shit. I have been convinced that that one's impossible. But no, we won 5. This tracker counts as a win. So we won 5 games of this tracker in a row. Holy shit. I know I'm missing one other achievement. It's the win the game with a party. I might actually be able to get the platinum in Fall Guys. I never thought that was possible. Holy shit. What? I'm speechless. Because I just figured, infallible, right? Like, the only time to get it was within, like, the first month of the game's release. Since then, it's felt impossible. Well, okay, there was that one time at April Fool's Day where it was tail tag, and I thought it was possible then. Holy shit. I'm so glad we did this tonight. I almost didn't switch sports again. Oh my god, this was so much better. Holy shit. And now I just need to win a team game. Which actually shouldn't be that hard. I just need to make a team. Huh. I should look into that. Holy crap. What was I talking? My brain completely farted. Switch sports, soccer's okay. I like badminton. I still am not good at tennis, but you know, I won a game of tennis. What else? What else? What else? I swear there was something else as well. Volleyball is okay, right? Like, it's all about timing, and if you don't have good timing, you're not going to do good in volleyball. But if you do have good timing, then it will be fine, right? Everything will turn out fine. But I have okay timing, so I did okay at volleyball. Definitely not one of my favorites, but I definitely don't hate it. It was just okay. And then finally there's oh crap. They're gonna get caught right there. Hey, we got the infallible achievement before that happened, so whatever, I don't really care. Crap. But yeah, okay, volleyball, tennis, bowling, golf, badminton, soccer. Yeah, I think that's all of them. I think they're all okay sports. Yeah, I definitely do I like badminton more than tennis. I feel like you get better rallies in badminton. You can be a little bit more tricky in badminton. I like badminton a lot. And in bowling, I've been trying to bowl the perfect game. I can't do it. I've gotten 5 strikes in a row. That's half the game. But I've been unable to do better than that. I've been unable to get better. I think I've gotten like 5 strikes in a turkey. And then just like the rest were like spares. And I think I even like got like a 7-10 split in one of the frames. And I think the highest I've ever gotten is, I think it was a 257? Maybe it was a 240. It was either a 257 or a 247. I don't remember. It was one of those two. So, like, I'm getting better, and I'm definitely learning more, but I haven't gotten to the full, sweep yet in badminton, or in bowling. But I'm working on it, you know, I leveled up in rank a little bit. What's driving me crazy right now with bowling is I'm playing bowling, and I'm playing against random people online, and it's like, hey, this random person online has, like, a rainbow ball. Not a rainbow ball, it was like a fuzzy ball. Oh, I found someone with a wooden ball. I swear there was somebody who was using like a basketball or something. And I'm like, where are these people getting these other balls from? Because as far as I know, there's no way to get any of these other, any other baseball or bowling ball or whatever. I haven't been able to figure it out. I think it's interesting. But yeah, I see all, and I thought I would unlock another type of bowling ball when I completed the, colorful set. So the game launched with one set, and then an update added a second set. Well, I thought like, oh, well, the second set, or the game basically launched with 2 sets. So I was like, oh, maybe this other set would get me, oh my gosh, where did they go? But yeah, I figured that, oh, maybe this other set will get me, this, like, ball. Like, it's not a rainbow ball. I'm gonna call it, like, a felt ball at the moment. And no, it doesn't seem to do that. So I don't have, so, like, I finished the set and I didn't get it. But I have no idea where people are getting the wooden ball. I have no idea where people have gotten these other balls from. So yeah, I'm so confused, but online, I'm seeing all these other people with all these other balls, and I just don't get it. Like, seriously, I have... Is that it? But yeah, so I've been just playing bowling, and it makes no sense to me. I'm like, I have no idea where all these other bowling balls are coming from. I'm rolling with it at the moment, but it makes no sense. Okay, I'm gonna leave you here. I'm gonna go check out, find the other guys. Yeah, so on that front, I am completely confused. It makes no sense to me where this other, how to get these other, oh, I got him. I have no idea how to get these other bowling balls, and it kind of annoys me. Because I want these other cool bowling balls. Like, the wooden one's cool. But no, so far I haven't found anything. And you know, I technically didn't even think of these as victories, because I'd like to take a screenshot of every victory I get, and these just feel so small that I haven't even been doing that. But yeah, so, that's, okay, we need to win 2 more games as Thief. Okay, that's possible. Anything, I haven't been playing any other video games other than that. Like I said, I want to play Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion and Tunic, but I'll get to those eventually. I did finish Marvel's Avengers, the, 2010 animated show that, you know, is the Avengers. It's only 2 seasons. I think there was like 26 episodes per season. Really short and sweet. And yeah, I liked it. It was fun, you know. I like them doing, and like, it's interesting because, like, having read some of these stories from the comics, it's interesting to see how they're adapted. It's cool that it's willing to play more into, like, the Marvel universe. Like, you watch the movies, and it just feels like the movies treat some of these things as, like, so sacred. But, you know, this show is very laissez-faire with it. Like, the Fantastic Four just get mentioned all the time. The X-Men get mentioned all the time. And then starting in the 2nd season, hey, guess what? There's the Fantastic Four. In the 2nd season, hey, guess what? There's Doctor Doom showing up. Right? Like, it's more willing to, like, do these things and, like, play around with these Marvel properties. Because, you know, they're more open to it. And I like that. I like that the show is more willing to, you know, play around with these Marvel properties and ideas and whatnot. The X-Men are mentioned several times. And then finally in, what is it, season, and at the very end of season 2, you finally meet, Wolverine. He finally shows up. And there's a whole episode where the Avengers basically die, more or less. And they form the new Avengers, which is, you know, Spider-Man. Spider-Man showing up is so cool. And doing, like, so, like, I remember seeing a scene in a comic one time where Captain America gets really pissed at J. Jonah Jameson for just constantly ragging on Spider-Man. So it was really cool to see in, like, an episode where kind of, like, something like the inverse happens, where, you know, because of the Skrulls, Captain America's name has been taken through the mud. And so now, like, Spider-Man kind of has to defend him. And how Spider-Man looks up to Captain America or how Captain America looks up to Spider-Man because he knows, like, how much shit Spider-Man deals with. And is like, oh, yeah, you know, we get it. And we're, right, like, you put up with J. Jonas's shit every day. And, like, I respect you for that. And I think that's really cool, actually. I really do like that. So yeah, this Avengers show has a lot of good stuff going for it. And, you know, having read Secret Invasion, I definitely, by minimalizing Secret Invasion, I definitely feel like they kind of do it better. And by, yeah, trying to drag Captain America's name through the mud. They never do Civil War. Like, Civil War is referenced dozens of times throughout the show. Especially, like, having especially with Captain America being replaced by a Skrull. There's tons of reference to him, like, being a futurist. And at no point do they ever do Civil War. And I like that. Because, again, I know Civil War is a bad comic. I've read Civil War, it fucking sucks. And I know it took the movie to make it good, right? It was the movie is the first part of Civil War that was good. Like, even Civil War 2 wasn't good. Because I read that at the time. But no, I like that they instead did Secret Invasion, and I feel like they did it fine. They do all the Kree and the Skrull stuff. It's just an all-around really good, really solid show. Nothing amazing, like nothing that blows my socks off, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you like the MCU and you've never seen this show before, I would recommend it. Right? It's very solid all around. And it tells some of the stories that, like, you know, the comics just don't, or can't, or any other myriad of reasons. Ah, crap. I know he didn't know I was there, but... No, I felt like that's a very solid idea. And they do a bunch of other things. King, if you want a potential look forward at how they could do King the Conqueror, right, they deal with that. There's a Council of Kings. That's the one where Kang kills the Avengers. Fantastic Four. There's some really good ideas in there. They're all going for the candies. But the center is just completely open, and I don't think they realize it. It's literally it's two of us, one of us, and he's not even making a stab towards the center. Okay, good. Oh, good. Holy shit. But yes, and there was one other thing where the final episode. So spoiler alert for like a 10-year-old show. But the final episode is them dealing with Galactus. And I'm watching that episode and I'm like, yeah, this is how you do the future of the shows. Or the movie, right? If you ever do Galactus, this is how... By having Galactus, right, you know, come in like this, and, oh god, I didn't even realize how many of us have been captured. But yeah, I think the way they do Galactus at the end, like, that would be one way to do it. But it's definitely, like, I've seen people talking on Twitter today about what is the future of the MCU, and how we're definitely going towards Secret Wars. And yeah, because that is something this show doesn't do. Like, the show has Doctor Doom in it, but he really only shows up once or twice for, like, Secret Invasion, and that's it. I think he's got, like, one other cameo when they do the Purple Man, you know, the Jessica Jones villain. But yeah, no, the future of the MCU is Secret Wars, and yeah, this show doesn't do it. So yeah, I guess they kind of do underutilize Doctor Doom, but yeah. What else? Anything else in this show? I don't know, but yeah, no, I liked it. It was overall pretty solid. It's nice to see, like, okay, so if you, in, like, the first few episodes, the team is, right, the original Avengers team. Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Ant-Man, and Wasp, right? That's the original. But then, like, very quickly on, oh, hey, guess what? Now we're adding Black Panther. And he's with the Avengers for, like, a season and a half. He technically dips out during Secret Invasion, but then he comes right back shortly afterwards. So, yeah, he's gone for a little bit, but he's back eventually. So, yeah, they do that part, but Black Panther's in it for the most part. And in the first season, they introduced Carol Danvers, but she's on the team for a good chunk of the second season, except for, you know, when the team breaks up during Secret Invasion. Because, yeah, they never do, what's it called? They never do Civil War, but the team still breaks up during Secret Invasion because they can no longer trust each other. What else happens? There's something I'm forgetting, but I don't remember what. But yeah, it's overall, it's a very solid show. Oh yeah, Captain Marvel joins, the Vision joins when they deal with the Vision stuff. Hawkeye joins pretty early on as well. Like, you know, like halfway through the first season. Yeah, overall, I think it's a very solid, very fun show, and I do recommend. Both seasons are on Disney Plus, so yeah. And yeah, it's interesting because yeah, it's the take on like the Avengers before even the first Avengers movie had come out. I mean, I think maybe the first Avengers movie had come out like by the time the series ended, but at least for like the first season, especially, nope. It definitely takes some influence from, like, the first Iron Man movie and whatnot. But no, it's different, and I like it. I like this MCU show. Yeah, so I do actually have some soda stuff to talk about. We have an Amiibo to unbox, but I'm actually going to do that probably next week, because I don't have a working webcam at the moment. So we'll do that, like, next week. But I guess we'll continue on with the MCU stuff. Moon Knight had its season finale, so, I'm just gonna put up the spoiler tag, and we're just gonna keep that on for the rest of the stream. Just FYI, because after this we're talking Doctor Strange. But yeah, so, Moon Knight had its finale. It was originally, it's funny, when I watched it, it was titled Episode 6, and then I think like a day later they changed it to God and Monsters. Did we talk about Episode 5? I'm sure I did at some point. I kind of don't remember talking about it. But Episode 5 was all about, Episode 5 was all about right there in the afterlife, and now they have to balance out, Mark and Steven's souls in order to get them to the afterlife. Which was very good and very interesting, and I really did like it. So yeah, I liked that. That was a very good, very solid episode, all things considered. But yeah, so that was episode 5, and then episode 5 ends with Steven falling into the pit and getting, not snapped, but he gets dusted, basically. He turns into dust. That's why I was calling it snapped. So I think that's a very solid ending for a second episode, you know. I like where that ends off. I think that's very good. Oh my god, you were... Holy shit, he missed the button. Oh my god, you suck. You suck, you bean. But yeah, so I really did like that. I liked that. And, you know, them finding out Steven's backstory and seeing some actual, like, abuse. Like, just straight up, like, no... pretense, like, abuse in the MCU. And, like, technically they don't, like, fully show it, but, you know, they give a lot. And that's still very... right, I like how they handled that. Oh my god, my teammates freaking suck. Like, I don't think I'm doing all... Okay, admittedly, these idiots keep jumping on these jump pads, which is stupid annoying. But yeah, so that episode was pretty good of Moon Knight. And then Marvel shows are infamous for not being able to stick the finale. So the question then became, like, can this one stick the finale? And, you know, I'm actually kind of split. So I like that they didn't kill off Steven. Okay, right, that Mark's able to go into... He goes back into the sand and he saves Steven. That's pretty good. I like that. What I don't... And then, okay, some other things I like about it. Okay, the giant kaiju fight... I know a lot of people have complained that part of the problem with these shows is that they always, at least especially with WandaVision, is that they end on like this big CGI battle. And this episode literally ends with a giant CGI kaiju monster fight. So, but I mean, like, it's not terrible, but I kind of see the problem. And, you know, I think it's kind of cool to see Khonshu get his ass kicked. That, no, without Mark, he's kind of got nothing. So I think that's good. So I'm like, I think it's okay, right? I don't mind the CGI monster fight. Layla becoming... Now, I know... So she becomes Scarlet Scarab. So Scarlet Scarab is technically a character from the comics. But a character with no relation to Moon Knight. They haven't been in a comic in a long time. They were a guy. They look nothing... Their costume looks nothing like this. For all intents and purposes, Layla Scarlet Scarab is... And Layla herself is nowheres in the comics. There is a character called, like, Marlene, who fills a similar role, but Layla's not in the comics. So Layla is basically an original character to that end. And, yeah, Scarlet Scarab technically comes from the comics. It's basically a completely different thing. So to that end, it asks the question, is Layla the MCU's first original character? And my response is yes-ish? Yeah, yes-ish? Like, I want to kind of say yeah, or at least they're not the first original character. Of course, you have, like, Coulson and whatnot. What I think I mean more by that is they're the first original, like, superhero. Like, the first original person with superpowers. And I'd say, yeah, kind of. But I think everything they do with Layla, I think is actually pretty good. Like, I actually really do like how they handle Layla. I feel like she's pretty well done. That I know some people, of course, I bet there's going to be those misogynists who are like, oh, look at this scene where they call out her being an Egyptian female superhero. Oh, blah, 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 bitch and moan, bitch and moan. It's fine. God damn it. Right, no. Like, I know we're getting Miss Marvel, I think, next month. And the whole point of Miss Marvel is that, oh, well, I didn't think brown girls from Jersey could be superheroes. The quote's put better than that. But that's, like, the whole point of Miss Marvel, which I worry they're gonna fuck that up. Because, like, in the comics, she transforms herself to look like Carol Danvers. And I worry the show, because they've changed her powers, the show's just straight up not going to do that. And... yeah, that would kind of suck, because that completely changes how that completely changes Miss Marvel's origin. Because as part of it, she has to grow into herself and realize that, no, there can be stories about brown girls from Jersey becoming superheroes. So for that end, you know, if you have a problem with it, fuck off. Especially if you're a straight white male. Like, you know, so there was someone, like, who was throwing a temper tantrum about, like, the all-female scene in Avengers Endgame. And some guy was like, you know, let me show you why this matters. You know, this is going to take a few hours. So he literally showed his, like, 8-year-old daughter Avengers Endgame. And when that scene came on, she got so excited. And yeah, that's what it's about. Not everything is made for you. Come the fuck... Admittedly, I haven't heard anyone complaining about it. But just by the law of the internet, I'm assuming somebody is. So what else? So in that episode, okay, so I know the show is saving Jake Lockley, right? He's been hinted at since literally the first episode. But they finally had the chance to show him in this one. And there's a point where both Mark and Steven have been defeated by Harrow. He's been defeated... and then, like, he starts to, like, black out. And I would have been like, that would have been really cool to have him transform into the third Moon Knight suit. and just beat them all up. Right? Like, I don't need to hear Jake Lockley speak. I just want him to beat them all up. But no, instead, they just have it cut to black, and when it cuts back, he's defeated Haro. So, like, Jake Lockley comes in and does his thing, but we don't actually see any of it. Which, again, I think is kind of interesting. It's an interesting choice that I don't entirely love. It does take some, right, to take one of the final, like, climactic fight scenes and just not do it. That takes some real balls show. I'll give you that. But I don't know. I don't know if I like it. You know, I would have rather them just not done it. Or any, right? Like I don't know. I'm a very split mind about them not showing the final fight scene. Part of me is like, you know, that's a risk. Part of me is like, no, they should have at least showed it. Because they saved Jake Lockley until the very end. And I don't feel like that was the right move. I felt like you could have revealed him earlier than that. That by saving him for the end, they waited too long, basically. And yeah, because at the very end of the episode, right, Mark and Steven are finally out of their deal with Khonshu. They're finally free. But hey, surprise twist, just because Mark and Steven are free doesn't mean Jake is free as well. So no, Jake is still capped, right? Jake has still made the deal with Khonshu. Mark's still pretty messed up. And like, it's a good, right, the twist that, hey, guess what? Mark is still, right, involved. Even though he doesn't think he is, he's still there. I mean, it's a good twist. Don't get me wrong. I do like it. But I do also feel like they could have still shown Jake Lockley fight, at least, right? They could have actually shown the final fight scene. But no, instead they blew their budget on giant CGI monster fight, or whatever. It's complicated is what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at, is that I have kind of, like, I've seen some people say that, oh, this is the first MCU finale that, like, nails it. And I don't know if I agree with that. I liked it. I don't know if I agree with that statement that this is the first MCU finale to, like, get it right, to do it perfect, you know. And yes, sure, the end bit with Jake Lockley killing Haro and finding out that, what's-his-face still is, that, Mark is still involved, and yeah, Layla was never going to be the Avatar in the first place. That's all good. I don't know. I don't hate it. I just don't love it either. Kind of reminds me of what, like Loki? Was that how because I thought the Loki finale was interesting, and that also took some risks by, you know, literally just by being like one step away from a bottle episode. But I don't know. I liked Moon Knight. I didn't. But yeah, overall, yeah, I liked Moon Knight. I didn't love it. Like, I wasn't blown away. I felt like there were some really good ideas in there. Like, them doing anything with the Asylum, I thought was really cool. But I also feel like they kind of wasted it as well. Like, I kind of wish they spent more time, like, in the Asylum, or they spent more time on, like, the mystery, and, like, they spent, like, a good chunk of the episode actually trying to convince you that, no, this was all in Mark's head. Instead, I think they blow their load too early in the 4th episode by revealing the hippo and by having Mark and Steven be separate. Yeah, I think they blow their load. Of course, they do go back to it. They go back to Mark being interviewed by Haro several times. Even in the final episode, like, that's one of the, like, that's like the second to final scene. So, I don't know. And now, originally Marvel put out a tweet like, hey, enjoy the series finale of Moon Knight. And then they took down that tweet and were like, no, enjoy the season finale of Moon Knight. So, it looks like there's a decent enough chance we will get a second season. And yeah, I do definitely dealing with Jake Lockley and all that. Sure, go for a second season. I like that. It is interesting that we're putting a lot of Marvel characters in London right now. Black Knight's in London. Blade is supposedly in London. Moon Knight's now in London. I wonder where that's going, admittedly. Oh, So yeah, I wonder if that's gonna go anywhere. I don't know if there is like a Avengers of London. Like, I know there's an East Coast Avengers and a Great Lakes Avengers. I don't know if there's like a United Kingdom Avengers or whatever, if that's where that's leading. I know we're definitely leaning towards a Young Avengers. That's for damn sure. That's where we're going with this. But that all comes in due time. So yeah, but yeah, I liked Moon Knight. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I don't know, it's definitely weird. And then I guess next up, let's talk about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Wow, we did that fast. Or as I've shortened it here, Doctor Strange Mom, which is actually kind of fitting, right? So, spoiler-free thoughts on the movie real quick. I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it, though. I think it's good. I think it's a solid movie. I feel like it's got some good moments, some interesting ideas. There's been this debate over the past few days, I guess, about, like, should this movie have been rated R? No, it shouldn't have. I've seen PG-13 movies that are more violent than this, but the movie is kind of graphic. It does have horror elements. Because if you don't know the story behind this movie, this was originally supposed to be the MCU's first ever horror movie. Then the director, whose name I don't remember... What's his name? Let me look it up real quick. The original Doctor Strange was directed by... Scott Derrickson? God, it had 5 directors? I want to say it was Scott Derrickson. Was supposed to come back and do the sequel. Then, due to creative differences, he left the project. And then, so, to replace him, they brought in Sam Raimi, who, you know, is a famous horror director who did movies like, he did Evil Dead. I know he also did the first few Spider-Man. But you know, Sam Raimi is a rather renowned, horror director who, you know, uses horror elements. So I guess it makes sense to get someone like Sam Raimi to do this, right? And definitely watching the movie, you can see Sam Raimi's fingerprints all over this. And that's not I know some people don't like Sam Raimi's sort of style, but I like it. I think Sam Raimi is pretty decent at what he does. What? Whatever. Yeah, I think Sam Raimi's like nothing amazing, and you definitely do have limitations to that style. The first Spider-Man definitely has some problems. The sequel, on the other hand, the scene with Doc Ock, where Doc Ock comes in and kills all those scientists trying to, you know, take off his arms, is really good, actually. Like, that's a really great moment. So, yeah, Sam Raimi's a little... He can be hit and miss. But I think this one, no, it's got horror elements. It's not fully horror, but it's got horror elements in it. That's for sure. And it does kind of make me wonder, like, what was the original version of this movie like? You know, like, what did they lean way more into the horror in the original version? Was it always kind of like this, but there were some other creative differences? We'll never know. I mean, we might know one day, but it does make me wonder. Because, like, as part of the creative differences, how did they tone it down a lot? Was part of the creative difference that Scott Derrickson wanted to make it rated R, and they wouldn't let him? Because, yeah, no, I've seen PG-13 movies, or PG movies, that have scarier stuff in it. But that doesn't mean this is completely lacking. That's for sure. But yeah, I like it. I'm not blown away by it. And part of the reason I wonder if I'm not blown away by it is because just a few weeks ago, I saw the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is also a movie about the multiverse. But I feel like the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once did the multiverse way better. It's just like when you watch Everything Everywhere All at Once and how it tackles the multiverse, and then just compare it to this movie's a lot more restrained. And I feel like it's called Multiverse of Madness. I want madness in it. And again, there are elements, but it never goes mad. Meanwhile, Everything Everywhere All at Once goes crazy. And it's really good. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Ooh, I've never... A skin with just a single eye? That's interesting. Yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once is a very good movie. And I definitely do think that this one... Oh, goddamn it. This Doctor Strange, just in comparison to both movies are tackling the multiverse, it's just... No, Doctor Strange just isn't as good. Even the concept of the multiverse isn't as well handled as Everything Everywhere All at Once. I keep saying it wrong, but... Yeah, it's just not the same. It really isn't. And that kind of sucks, because, you know, I want it to be better. Right? I want it to live up to Everything Everywhere All at Once. But it just doesn't. And that kind of sucks. God damn it. Okay, good. But yeah, that doesn't mean because it's like a 10 out of 10 movie. So comparing Everything Everywhere All at Once to something like Doctor Strange, it's kind of an unfair comparison. Just because the other movie is so good, whereas this one's just kind of... It's just not the same. And I know part of it is they're doing different things. But it's just... If you have a... Honestly, if you're curious, if you want just to see the concept of the multiverse fully represented, Everything Everywhere All at Once just does a better job at it. Just straight up. Again, not to... Like, I still go see this movie. I still liked it. And it definitely does some good things. Just doesn't... I don't know. I guess I'm just... just because the two came out so closely together, I can't help but compare them, and I can't help but see the other one is better. But getting into some spoilers in this one. So, right now, here's your buffer. Full spoilers for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I think it's very ballsy to make Wanda the villain. Just straight up, Wanda is the villain. Like I feel like, yeah, I didn't get that in the trailers at all. I mean, it was kind of like, I kind of saw it coming, but it was like, I feel like the trailers kind of keep that a secret, so I do like that to an end. Because it looked like, oh, it was going to be like a sort of team-up thing, but no, just straight up, she's the villain. She's the one causing all the problems. She's the one hunting down America Chavez. That's interesting. I do like that. But I also don't, because I like Wanda as a hero. I think she's actually a pretty good hero. Or, you know, I know she did some terrible things, but no character is beyond redemption, you know? I feel like you can... I like her, especially after... I know, oh, WandaVision, she did a terrible thing. She can be redeemed. Oh, she did a terrible thing, and... Or, you know, I like her. I like Wanda. I like how she's done. And so, her becoming just the full-on villain. Oh, they must have disconnected? Okay, I'll take it, I guess. But yeah, so her becoming the straight-up villain, I'm like... I don't know. And so, like, Wanda... There's been a thing recently where it's like, oh, Wanda is the most powerful person in the MCU, right? I know a lot of people complain that Carol Danvers is too powerful. But it's been clear, specifically, like, people started to get that notion in Infinity War, but it's specifically when she beats Thanos in Endgame, and, you know, the only way he can actually fight back against her is by having the ships rain down fire. But yeah, it's been clear that Wanda's the strongest Avenger. So, seeing her fight and kill all of the Illuminati in this movie is really, right, it's just more proof of that. It's really cool. I know, right, this is where, like, oh, she kills all of the Illuminati. And I know that's where some people are like, oh, this movie should be R-rated. No. Even blowing up, like, heads and spaghettifying, right, and whatnot, snapping necks. She chops Captain Carter in half. Nah. Now... So, the Illuminati, the way the trailers made it seem, is that the Illuminati is, like, this organization that, right, is, like, kind of governing the multiverse, right? Trying to make sure things don't go crazy in the multiverse. Nope. That's not how it works. In this movie, the Illuminati is basically just, like, the Avengers or whatnot for one specific universe. So, like, there's a universe that doesn't have an Avengers, but they have the Illuminati, which serves the same purpose as the Illuminati from, like, the comics, you know, to try to prevent terrible things that happen before they happen. And that include, they're more worried about Doctor Strange than they are about Wanda. And the Illuminati, so you've got Agent Carter, you've got Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel, you've got Black Bolt, and it's the same actor from the TV show, Blackagar Boltagar, who, it's, you know, it's funny, in Spider-Man No Way Home, they make fun of Dr. Otto Octavius for having a stupid name. I think the stupidest name ever is Blackagar Boltagar. Like, no joke, I think that one's way worse. Yeah, in my opinion, that's one of the dumbest names ever. Like, no joke. But yeah, of course, Professor Xavier, they hinted at that in the trailer, and yep, he's a member of the Illuminati. And then, the big one that, you know, so my theater, the one I go to never has big reactions. Right? They're always mostly quiet. Mostly. But when Mr. Fantastic, played by Jonathan Krasinski, showed up, the guy sitting in front of me freaked out. He was just like, oh, right? He was like kicking his leg. He was so excited. So yeah, that was like the one thing. Other than that, you know, the showing was pretty tame. But there was that one moment, and yeah, and I think he also, like, at another point, he, like, freaked out as well, but overall, it was pretty tame, all things considered. But yeah, so oh my god. I feel like I haven't even seen my team. They're playing it very stealthy, but they're getting a lot done. Yeah, so that was a wild, right? The whole Illuminati stuff, wild. Something I do not like. So, if you don't know, the Marvel Comics universe is Universe 616. In the MCU universe is Universe 1999999. Then in Spider-Man Far From Home, they kind of retcon it that no, the MCU universe is also 616. But turns out that was a lie. Because, you know, Mysterio was lying. But in this movie, no, they do confirm that retcon that the MCU universe is also 616. And personally, I just think that's kind of dumb. I feel like they should have stuck to their guns. I know 1999999 is stupid. You could have just shortened it to 199. Because the universe with the Illuminati is Earth, what, 517 or something like that? You know, but I feel like that's right. I don't like the idea that the MCU and the comics universe are the same universe. Because I do, in theory, like the idea that, no, they are separate universes. And while they will never interact, they could theoretically interact, right? I just feel like that's better. I know it doesn't, it's just semantics at the end of the day. But I don't know, it's just something I think is kind of dumb. Right? Them retconning the main universe. What else? The Illuminati, it is kind of weird that, like, so in, the first Doctor Strange, they set up Baron Mordo. Right? That Baron Mordo is, like, gonna be the next big Doctor Strange villain. But in this movie, like, they hint that some conflict between them has happened. Specifically, that's between the first and second Doctor Stranges. Baron Mordo has been attacking, right, Doctor Strange as he's been trying to take out all magic. But I feel like, because in this movie we're dealing with an alternate universe Baron Mordo, I feel like it definitely kind of lessens this one. Because it's not, like, they clearly have the same, like, conflict between them. But there is a difference, right? They are it's a different universe, Baron Mordo, because the universe with the Illuminati does not, right? Doctor Strange is dead in that one. But I feel like there's this whole, like, there's this, because part of the plot is that Wanda, a major point is that Wanda is trying to steal America Chavez's powers. And so, at the beginning of the movie, an alternate universe Doctor Strange also tries to steal her powers. So I feel like there's this whole potential plot here with Doctor Strange having dealt with Baron Mordo, who's been stealing other people's magic, and now he has to face the decision to steal America Chavez's magic or not. And of course, at the end of the day, he decides no. Right? Because that's still what happens in this movie. Is that Wong tells him to steal magic, and to steal her power to multiverse travel, and he refuses. But I feel like there's this whole element with Baron Mordo that's just not played into. And I do kind of dislike that. Like, I want them to play into that. I don't know, that's just something I've been thinking about. What else? With the whole thing with America Chavez, I know some people don't like her. I know some people find it, like, weird that she's in this movie. I know she has multiversal powers in the comics. I will say, so the America Chavez comic, I think it's just called America. Written by, oh god, what was her name? Gabby Riviera, was that who did it? Maybe she did the art. I don't know. Whatever that America Chavez comic, you know, I've read it. I've read some of it, because it's one of those, like, famously bad comics. And I agree. Yeah, you know, it's pretty bad. That America Chavez comic, yeah, it's pretty bad. But I like how they did America Chavez in this. They do that whole thing where, like, oh, the powers are based on, like, your feelings and your emotions. And because at a young age, she zapped away her mothers to an alternate dimension, since then, she's been afraid to use her powers. So, I like that. I like that element, and I think that's kind of interesting, right? That, oh, because of what's happened, she's afraid to do anything with her powers, and her powers don't work. Like, there is a through line there that I do think makes logical sense. God damn it, this guy is fast. What? How? Oh my god, even though he's getting hit. He's... Okay, finally. God, that guy's a pain in the ass. But, of course, he's free because the gate was open. Shit. And he's just jumping right over me. What? Okay, this guy sucks. Because somehow he's getting past me. Oh, God, I hate that guy. Oh my God. He threw 4... There are 4 things right there for anyone to take. That guy sucks. Yeah, so no, I think what they do with America Chavez is fine. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. You know, I definitely like it better than her comics. Because I do not like her comic. At least that one. I'm sure they've probably done other stuff with her. I know some people do have concerns that they're just turning her into like a young Doctor Strange. And that concern does, right, especially at the end when she's like joined the temple and she's trying to do magic. You know, that concern does make sense. But no, I think it's fine. Yeah, Wanda's whole thing about like trying to get her and defeat her does make right. It's interesting. There's an easy hit right there. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, one of the prequel dropped. Oh, we won. Okay, I was like, wait, did we lose? When he press, and especially like, why did you press the button? What else? But yeah, and yeah, like I was saying earlier, with like the whole everything everywhere all at once. Part of my disappointment is that besides for a montage, they really only go to 3, maybe 4 universes total in this movie. Where, like, I know in everything everywhere all at once, they technically stay in the main universe and then connect to all the others, but they're still like connecting to like all these other universes and doing all these other crazy things. This one is mostly they go to one other universe, then they start off in one universe, then they go to the main universe, then they spend like half the movie in a different universe, and then finally they like end the movie in the 4th-ish universe. And again, that first one kind of like, it's the space between universes, so does that even count? I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's what I like it. I saw somebody compare this movie to The Last Jedi. And part of me actually kind of hopes they're right. Because when I walked out of The Last Jedi, I remember I went and got some food afterwards. So I was sitting in the drive-thru and I was thinking about The Last Jedi and I was like, you know, that movie was kind of shit. I was like, I didn't like that. And then over the coming week, I kept thinking about it and I was like, you know, maybe that wasn't that bad. You know, maybe there were some good things. And then like a few days later when I took my parents to see it, I liked it a lot more, right? On the second viewing, I was like, you know what? No, this is actually really good. I like this a lot better. Right. So that is definitely something where when I first saw The Last Jedi, I was like, I do not like this. But then the second viewing onwards, I was like, you know what? No, this is actually pretty good. So I do wonder if on a subsequent viewing, like, if, like, because there are some movies where that doesn't work. Batman v Superman. When I saw it in theaters, I was like, this is garbage. And then I thought about it over the coming, like, 3 months or whatever. And I was like, you know, maybe this is better than I thought. And then I actually rewatched it when it came to, like, DVD. And I was like, nope, I was right the first time. This movie is garbage. And even rewatching it again, like, I don't know, like a year and a half ago, I still believe that. I still think that movie is garbage. But, you know, I definitely don't think this one is garbage. That's for sure. I will say that. I don't think this movie is garbage. I just don't think it's that great. Right? I just don't think it's like... I think it's good. I just think it's like a solid, like... I don't know, like 8 out of 10. Where it could be better. You know, like this could be a better movie. But, you know, maybe in a few months, maybe even just Tuesday, I'll go watch it again and maybe I will enjoy it more. Who knows? Literally anything is possible at this point. Right? Like, who knows? But it is one of those things where, because yeah, I didn't like the Last Jedi when I first saw it. And now I realize it's great, and now it's like my second or third favorite Star Wars movie. Really depends. It really does depend. Because there's a lot of good Star Wars stuff. But yeah, I kind of hope the same thing happens with Multiverse of Madness. Where the more I think about it, maybe after a rewatch or two, I'll be like, no, I actually do like this. I think this is a pretty good movie. But we'll see. We shall see. But I like it. I just don't love it. 8 out of 10 makes sense. I do kind of find it crazy that I like the Sonic movie more. Like, I know the Sonic movie comes out on DVD soon, or to Paramount Plus or whatever, and when it does, I'm like, oh, I'm right there. I'm going to rewatch it again. Oh, I'm so excited to watch it again. That's kind of wild to think about. That, yeah, I'm already, like, super excited to watch the Sonic movie again. But yeah, and part of me is like, yeah, I should rewatch this. But another part of me is like, you know, I kind of don't want to see this again. Like, there are some movies you walk out of and it's like, oh, I could watch that again immediately. Right? Like Beverly Hills Chihuahua, where you see it in, 12 times in one day. Ah, that's a classic video. But no, I could honestly not. Part of me is like, no, I don't need to see this again. But admittedly, I think I thought the same thing of The Last Jedi. But yeah, over the past few days, having some time to think about the movie and whatnot, my opinion hasn't really changed that much. So, who knows? Maybe it won't change at all. Maybe it will change drastically. Oh, God damn it. Yeah, and then the ending, so at the end, you know, Wanda gets right, she confronts her kids, and they're, like, scared of her, which I do think is a very solid, like, way to conclude that plot. And yeah, it ends with her kids being scared of her, and her basically the other version of herself telling her that it's gonna be okay, that her kids are taken care of, or at least that's what it seems like anyways. I don't know if that's 100% what they're doing, but that's what I don't know, part of me, the line is just, like, quiet, so I'm not entirely sure that's what they're doing. But then, right, and then Wanda is, like, right, realizes, because she doesn't want to be the bad guy, but she sees this as her only way. But at the end, she's like, no, I'm never going to let this happen again. So she destroys the Darkhold, it destroys every version of the Darkhold, including the one Steven was using to, you know, fight her in a zombie form, which was actually kind of cool. And yeah, that's kind of where the movie more or less, it ends with Doctor Strange, oh, now he's got an eyeball on his forehead. Because he used the Darkhold. Because, you know, it's Doctor Strange. He's gonna use, that's how the first movie works as well. He uses the forbidden magic to get to achieve his goals. And now they end with, I think her name's Clea, which if I remember my comics correctly, which I might not, is Clea Dormammu's sister? Because the whole movie, there's like a whole thing about how, oh, in every universe, Stephen Strange ends up alone, right? He loses Christine, and he ends up alone. Which, to be fair, there's an entire episode about the show What If, which was all about that. That he loses Christine, and he ends up alone. So that does track. So yeah, at the end of the movie, he meets Clea, who, if I remember correctly, Clea is like his long-term girlfriend in the comics. And she's the sister of Dormammu, you know, the big scary face thing from the first movie, who in the comics doesn't look anything like a big scary face thing. Oh my gosh. But yeah, and then of course they're hinting at incursions. Because, right, I said earlier that it looks like the future of the MCU is Secret Wars. But to get to Secret Wars, the first thing that's got to happen, at least what happens in the comics, is the incursions happen. So it's totally possible that at some point... Because it looks like part of the future of the MCU is a Young Avengers, right? You've got America Chavez, Wanda envisions kids become Speed and Wiccan respectively. So you've got them, because they can totally just hop to the new universe. You've got America Chavez. You've got Patriot, who is Isaiah Bradley's grandson, and who was in Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I'm sure there are other characters who are Young Avengers that I'm forgetting. But they're clearly setting up Young Avengers as something that's going to happen. But for the mainline Avengers, which, you know, are Captain America, presumably Jane Foster, Thor, anybody else they could be setting up, they might start dealing with incursions. So we could see the MCU or the Avengers fight they're not called the Inquisition, or they're not called the Inquisitors. They're not called the Secret Society. I don't remember what they're called, but there's this whole other organization that is basically just the Justice League that the Avengers fight during the incursions, specifically the Illuminati. I don't remember what they're called. I know there's because, you know, both Marvel and DC have their versions of each other's heroes. So, like, that might be where they're going with, is that we're going to see the Avengers fight, whatever the Marvel equivalent of the Justice League is. With, you know, Hyperion, Power Princess, all the other characters I'm forgetting. Oh, God, what? Oh, I had it for a second there. It's not the Secret Society. It is the, Squadron Supreme. Right, so, like, they could totally set up the Squadron, have the Avengers fight the Squadron Supreme to deal with an incursion. And, you know, there's also the other Squadron Supreme, which is name I don't remember. That's which is again, it's basically the Justice League. So that might be, so they're doing Young Avengers on one side, and then on the other side they're doing incursions, which eventually lead towards Secret Wars. But then there's also this whole element of the MCU that's dealing with space right now, and that's working towards Galactus, you know, with the Inhumans, and Eros. And you do see the Living Tribunal's head at one point during this Doctor Strange movie. So, like, that might be something that's coming as well with the Living Tribunal, and maybe leading towards Eternity. And, Adam. So, yeah, it looks like the MCU is probably going to split in 3 phases. The adults, the kids, and then space stuff. If I had to take a guess, that's what's going to happen. And who knows, there might even be more after that. That's just one idea. Yeah, there was one... Oh, for another Doctor Strange, yeah. I mentioned it, the Inquisitors, or the Inquisition, or whatever. So there's a thing I know that happened in the comics fairly recently that was like the Inquisition, which is a group of like tech-based people from like an alternate dimension who are trying to eliminate all magic in the universe. And they actually did succeed in the comics, at least for a little bit. I think Doctor Strange did eventually defeat them. And, you know, that leads towards, like, Strange Academy and whatnot. But I know for a while anyways. Yeah, I think they were called the Inquisitors or the Inquisition or something. Was like a thing in... Oh my god, that went so fast. Was a thing in the comics. So I know while they're hinting at the end of the movie, he teams up with Clea to go stop an incursion that he caused. But this could also be... Right, that could be like... Because I know we're getting Gore the God Butcher. So I could see them doing, right, no more magic as well. Because they kind of have... Gore the God Butcher and the Inquisition... Or Inquisitors or whatever, kind of have similar backstories, if I remember. Like, they get, like, Gore gets screwed over by the gods who don't care about him. And the Inquisition, like, his family gets killed by the god, or by magic. So as a result, he hates magic. So that's where they could go with another Doctor Strange. I don't know, the MCU is kind of at a branching point at this point, where, like, anything's possible, and it's just, what are they gonna do? Like, Secret Wars makes sense. And then, you know, just reboot the whole universe following Secret Wars, but, yeah. We'll see. So I guess, God, we went for 2 hours tonight. I did not expect to go for 2 hours. I thought we were going to be quick, in, out, you know, let's do a few episodes, but I did have a lot to say about Multiverse of Madness. God, I talked about Multiverse of Madness for half an hour. Wow. Ugh. Yeah. So yeah, future stream stuff, I don't know, we'll probably do some more Switch Sports at some point. I'll probably get back around to Pokemon at some point as well. Don't know when that's gonna happen, but that's gonna happen at some point. I'm sure it will. We'll get back to Pokemon. I do want to do Bug Snacks. I know I'm wearing the Bunger right now. So I do want to get back to Bug Snacks at some point. But yeah, we got to do more Pokemon. I think we've got at least 2 more Pokemon streams in me. Alright, I think it's at least it's gonna take 2 more Pokemon streams to beat the main game. And then after that we've just got the post game. And I feel like the post game is gonna be a lot more straightforward, which is the Crown Tundra and, you know, finishing up anything in the Isle of Armor. So I feel like that's going to be pretty fair. Pretty fair and straightforward. But I'm excited for that whenever that comes. Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing more of that. I don't know. Right now I'm kind of in the middle of college right now. So that's keeping me busy. I don't have much left, but, you know, I've still got some left. But yeah, so we'll see where that goes from there. Yeah. But yeah, Pokemon. I want to do something. We might do unpacking at some point. That's the Xbox. I have it on Game Pass. Maybe on one of these in-chat episodes we might do unpacking, because that'll probably take like 2 or 3 hours, and I might do that on a stream or two. Because I did really enjoy that game when I played it like last week. Yeah. When it comes to Fall Guys, tonight went great. We won... What? We started... Okay, so we won... at least 12 games, or actually at least 14. It might be even be like 20. Because I think we started off with, how many crowns did we started off with, what, 105? So we got 6. No, we started off with 106. So I think we won, what, 18? Or wait. Yeah, 18, 19. I think we won 20 games tonight. Because like, the first thing that happened on stream was we got a crown. Because, you know, we grabbed 5 players during a round. But other than that, we did get the new skin stuff. We got Star Guy. And we got that cool new faceplate. Honestly, out of all these satellite missions, this was the easiest one so far. Because I tried to do the logic one, and the logic one was just such a pain in the ass. Specifically to win, Because the ending round of Logic was Temple, and you had to win Temple like 3 times, and I just couldn't do it. Yeah, I'm done with the season. I'm pretty sure the next season's gonna be space. Like, they keep doing these satellite events, and I'm pretty sure that's building up towards space. Especially with, like, Star Guy and everything. But yeah, I actually think this Bravery event, like, this game mode that I've literally never played before today, is actually kind of cool. Like, as a team win mode, I kind of like it. I actually think, like, of the possible ways you could do this, like, win, like, as a team thing, I really do like this. This Bravery thing. I think that's kind of right, especially because, specifically because I got that achievement, man. Getting this achievement, this trophy, it just, wow. I legitimately didn't even win 5. I just thought it was impossible. Seriously, I mean, how long? This game's been out, what, almost 2 years? Coming up on 2 years? And I just figured it'd never happen. Because, right, because when the game, like, in the first month after the game's release, I won, like, 3 games in a row. But after that, like, first month, specifically, like, the first, like, 2 weeks, never happened again. I never even won 2 games in a row. So I just figured it was impossible. But no. Again, except for that one time at April Fool's Day last year. I don't remember what they did for April Fool's Day this year, if they even did anything. But no, it is possible, I guess. So yeah. And I think we did it twice tonight. I'm pretty sure we didn't, like, of course you don't double achievement. I'm pretty sure we did it again. We won 5 more games in a row. So that's wild. But no, I really did like that. I like me some Fall Guys. God, we're just 1 achievement away. And the last achievement is to win as a party. Which I've never done. Because, I mean, I only have, what, 2 friends? Funny. Yeah. Yeah, that's in chat for the night. Oh, I never even turned off spoilers. Next week we'll be back with whatever Pokemon, Fall Guys, maybe on a better night. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes from here. Again, once I'm out of college, things will definitely pick up a little bit. But that happens when that happens. So for now, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Till next time, peace.